All right. Let's call the golf commission meeting to order. Let's let the record show that the meeting is being videotaped and will be posted to the city's YouTube account. First item is the minutes. We're going to table those until the next meeting. Next item is any old business? None. Any new business? None. Dan, you got any update?
Not much. I'll be in there a couple days this week to kind of wrap up the 2024 membership prices. The other thing I want to bring up is when I put out the tournament schedule. I know in the past last year we talked about the Independence Day football, and it was brought up about changing the name of it to the Dr. Blake. I put that on the thing, and Darren said, well, it should probably be discussed amongst the group here and want to change it. I don't know if you need to reach out to the family.
I don't need to reach out any further. I've reached out to the family. They're of the, while I thought it might be a good idea, others think they'd like to keep it as it was.
What it was? Okay.
As it was. Just an be a listed item, be it there.
Okay.
That's always what it was. Some of them can only can't play that many days and still want to play the tournament.
Right.
Therefore, they would be able to play.
Yeah, I'll put that as kind of
physically unable to play that many days, not time-wise. So.
okay. Yeah, that's right.
Continue to put it back in the calendar, keep the Independence Day football.
Yeah,
I'll
just put the blank on there too.
Just advertise as much as it can be.
The only thing I forgot to put on there so far is the junior club championship.
Oh, okay.
I just missed it on that. Do that same Tuesday before the high school start on Friday. Have that consistent thing. That worked out pretty good.
Continue to do an 18-hole for now, see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, if we get some younger people, maybe we just have a little side division for 9 holes or whatever.
But yeah, it used to be 36.
Correct. Yeah, let's keep it 18 for now.
I think that's the right move. I don't know if anyone else disagrees, but I'm glad we had it, so that's great.
Right. I think we have 8 or 12 kids. Yeah. So try to dig into the high schools a little bit more. You know, the varsity high school golfers. Yeah. There's a decent amount of kids that hadn't played anything before that jumped in there. So that's really all I have. That's I can think of. So.
Any questions for Dan? Bill?
I don't have a whole lot either. We got our new dump truck, our new plow truck. We're putting it to use right now out on the golf course, continuing to clear I think I talked about this the last 2 meetings, but you'll notice a big change in that first 10, 15 foot from the tree lines into the woods. We're clearing all that brush out. Speed up play, speed up play, speed up play. So myself and 2 guys are on the course. 2 guys are inside doing equipment repair. But other than that, yeah, just winter.
Any questions for Bill? No. Okay. A couple of correspondences. So the first one is from Paul Gillette, and this was dated back in December. It is worth mentioning the incident from Saturday, August 17th, and the actions of Dan Berry that day. Larry Starnes fell while walking off the 6th tee after the member of 2 groups checked on Larry. It was determined that we should call Dan out further check on Larry. He responded promptly in the car. Dan spoke to Larry in confidence and caring tone, adding the appropriate seriousness to the situation. He made the suggestion that he would call the EMTs, but only if Larry agreed. To ambulance, along with other personnel, then responded. They asked Larry if he wanted to be transported to emergency room. Larry said yes. Dan did not leave the scene until it was clear that Larry would be receiving further care. Dan took control of the situation with noteworthy professionalism. The situation did not have the successful conclusion that we had all hoped. In Dan's actions notwithstanding, we feel that the commission should be made aware of his actions on that morning. I tip the hat to Dan. Sincerely, John Billings, and Jeff Dennis, Maurice Fitzgerald, Paul Gillette. Good job, Dan.
Nice job.
Hopefully never have that happen again.
I know.
The odds are not in your favor.
The second correspondence is from Lynn, which is for the Acadian Club tournament. I was hoping you and I could connect this week sometime. I met with Dan about the new tournament fees and had some major concerns about the cost increase that will impose. I understand that and can accept all the new fees except the $15 surcharge, but as always, with all due respect, we spend under $9 per golfer to feed over 160 people at the Acadian Club after the tournament. You also know that we do a full breakfast feed in the morning with a 1 o'clock shotgun to expect people to eat again for a fee does not make sense. I also believe the Acadian Club golfers are quite generous on tournament day between their alcohol purchases and food if they choose on the turn. We also have a number of golfers. We provide vegetarian options and accommodate for allergies at the banquet. A $15 charge per golfer will cost us over $2,000 with a full field. As you know, our objectives are always to keep our costs down so we can give more scholarships to students. Even when we were using a caterer for our meal, we were below $20 per golfer. Please let me know if there's any other way to opt out of this. If the golf course commission had the facilities to host post-tournament banquets, that would be a different story, but they do not, and that's the burden should be passed on to tournaments, particularly charity tournaments. I would appreciate any feedbacks and flexibility on the fee. Thanks again. Open for discussion. We pretty much imposed the fee, so I don't know what. I mean, the only thing I was thinking about, unless she really wants to enforce the no coolers to hurt golfers, you know, if Todd would agree to that, then, you know, maybe he would waive the fee.
That would be a significant difference in what he would make that day, absolutely, yeah.
So,
Maybe you have to offer that to everybody, right? Same
Mhm.
deal, you're not supposed to have a cart, closing
No.
golf carts anyway.
Yeah, we're trying to waive something that shouldn't be there anyways.
So like, you're already not supposed to have the carts, the coolers and the carts.
Right. And again, you'd have to do it for everybody.
And what's the repercussions if they have, if 2 people have coolers or up,
Right.
30 people have coolers or 60 people have coolers? Do they then subject to the fee for that many, or we didn't find them all, or? It is gonna be a burden for the tournaments, and I do appreciate that as someone who runs a tournament. Gonna have to significantly change how we budget it. But I don't know how we enforce.
Yeah, I think it comes down to giving exceptions is tough.
I don't think we can.
Not even possible.
We can't
Do
really.
it.
so would we just recommend for Lynn to talk with Todd and Zoe's and discuss it with them?
I mean, could they do breakfast? Could he do the breakfast there before they start? I'm spitballing.
We've done it from normally.
He doesn't do breakfasts really. I mean, I don't know if he would consider doing it. I mean, his only,
Change that $15 fee to something else, like the breakfast, whatever.
You want me to reach out to Todd? Tell him to reach out to Lynn, start with that.
yeah.
I mean, if Todd's gonna do that, and Todd's gonna make a decision with that, then the decision's gonna have to fall back and be applicable to everyone,
Sure.
whatever that is gonna be.
Right.
That's the only thing.
Right.
So, this is kind of what I think we could all foresee us running into. This was gonna happen. People are gonna be,
All right,
I have an issue with
when I
the
talked to
cost.
them, I think they charge their golfers $110 or $115 each. Do you remember what you paid last year?
Depends. You can buy a foursome for like $500 for a foursome. So then I think it's $110 though, I think per golfer, right?
It can't really go bad.
So I told Linda, I said that's kind of low. I know what they're doing, but it's probably, I don't know, the police probably are about 50.
You think at least it's 150 now?
Yeah, and those are all, it's gone are the days of $100, like.
Correct.
The cheapest ones I ever see are 115, and most of them are 150.
It's a blanket policy. Should be treated as such.
Unless, I believe, if this is what we're gonna do, and it's something that maybe we revisit next winter, but it's something we put in place for this year. If we need to revisit, we revisit it, but.
And I mean, the $9 to feed people, it's just not, you're not apples to apples, it's not,
Correct.
it's not a business, it's a club,
Right,
it's
and they've got volunteers that just go out and buy the food, DJs, and
Expand staff and stuff.
rip it off themselves. Good for them, awesome, but that doesn't really pertain to what we're trying to do as far as that goes.
Other than the cost of food, there's no overhead for the building, no
Correct.
overhead for labor.
Right,
Yeah,
electric bills are a real thing.
right.
But I agree with the blanket straight across. You know, same thing with the league fees. You know, that's gotta be, revisit it in November and say, all right, did we lose anything? Did we gain anything? And see what happens with it.
Sure. Maybe we'll just shoot her an email. Just let her know.
Yeah, I don't know if they realize that you're gonna shut down the golf course for their event, and in doing that, we're shutting down Zoe's if we don't
right.
ensure that.
Yeah, it doesn't,
it's part of the process.
doesn't particularly help us in the morning either. You know, we don't have, I mean, we might have, you play, but
I haven't played probably the last 3 years either.
we might have 14 to 16 groups playing that morning shotgun.
And then they get out of Dodge because they don't want to be there when the
Right.
crowd gets there.
Right,
So
some
they
people
want
don't,
home.
and some of those guys that play weekend morning don't want to play at 7:30.
You only have so many Saturdays in the summertime to make money.
Correct.
Again, I do appreciate that it is an increase in cost, but we also give them, the Canadian Club gets a very significant exception of getting a weekend shotgun, which 15 years ago, that would have never happened. And it happens now. I know it's cost increase, but it's what we decided, and
Yeah.
like I said, it's going to be put forth something across the board. So,
Yeah, maybe we need to remind them that hey, Saturday's a busy day at the golf course, and for us to give you a Saturday afternoon for shotguns.
Well, you
Significant.
look at the worst case scenario, unless they take it somewhere else, they'll leave the entire day back. You know, we're not losing the tournament fee gone. We are catching up to what we would have made with the tournament.
correct.
You know,
It's
that
not,
weather
it's
based.
not the day's empty.
Correct, the day's now full. The only other one I haven't talked to yet is Andy from US Kids. He started reaching out about those, and I'll tell him about them. I don't, the US Kids groups that
Oh,
come
yeah.
time, I don't think they will come back, because of the grill charge, which is, again, we have the time back.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they paid greens fees, but, you know, we have the time back. And it saves the range and a little hassle,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, why don't you use, either one of you send Lynn an
We'll send
email,
Yeah,
and if she wants to, just talk to Todd, maybe she can come up with something else.
so,
you know.
with breakfast, like say, hey,
Yeah.
say, talking, you do a breakfast. You know, we'll give you $15 a head for the breakfast, then,
Right.
yeah, I don't know if that $9 included the breakfast in the morning or not.
No.
So,
I think
so this,
the breakfast is put out by the
Sponsored.
club.
Yeah.
You pay for it anyways. What do we pay, $10?
oh, you pay for it down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then, you know, it's,
Now we're at $5.
you know, if Todd wanted to and could do it. I don't know.
We'll communicate.
Yeah.
We'll send her an email, Linda too.
All right, commissioner comments, you got anything, Paul?
No, not today, thank you.
Mike?
No, nothing today.
Darren?
I have nothing additional.
Nothing, okay. So we just go with financials. So the financials, we're at, revenue at about $644,000.
That does not include the last week of December off.
Yeah.
And that's what goes to Skynet.
Right.
And that was a pile of
That
memberships.
was the last week of before Christmas, that's a big number. And then this week will be a little bit.
Okay. And we're at, total expenses of $722,000, which includes the indirect costs to the city. Most of this stuff in here is pretty much ordinary expenses, except for the the gator that was bought. And I think that's in golf course supplies, I think. And then we also, looks like they've also encumbered some money for the carts, and that's just through the end of the year, I believe. That's probably, might be 3 months. Yeah, 3 months worth. And then they also got the truck in here, they encumbered the money for, and then the repairs down at the, that hasn't been done yet, right?
No.
It's still pending.
They got kicked over to Boston. They're DEP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're asking some more questions, so
Okay.
8 inches of ice.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Boston. Same as spring.
Yeah, so right now we're showing a slight deficit, but once the memberships come in at the beginning of the season, we
Should
should.
feel half, the one half is done, the other half, we're waiting for the other half, is that,
The pipe outside,
oh, it's the pipe.
that's holding up that, what the DP is working on that. But the actual pump that was repaired is repaired, but it's sitting in a warehouse right now, because we wanted to do that part before we put that back in.
Right.
So, yes.
So any questions on the financials? Hearing none, we have a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Then, next meeting date. Maybe the week after President's Day, I think. 24th. That good for everybody? 24th?
Yeah, last week of February.
30.
Yep.
Any motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so what was it running the